Wait, there's something very weak coming through.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, fellow Galactic listeners. I'm Aaron Julian, and this is WSTR Galactic Public Access, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 83. Today, we're going to be talking about a retrospective look at Return of the Jedi. Joining me in the discussion today is Miss Heather Allred.
Hi, friends of the internet.
And the illustrious, the undeniable,
Wow,
Todd Hoffman.
wow. Last week, Heather knighted me, and now I get that very proper
You're
introduction from Aaron. I really appreciate that. You know?
We're grooming you into nobility.
Yeah,
You got to look presentable at the award ceremony.
Oh,
on
right.
Yavin.
Yeah, exactly. No, I appreciate that introduction. Happy to be here, man.
Can't just have any schlub showing up there.
No,
Got to be grand, illustrious.
right. Yeah, all those
Decked out in the finest robes.
those adjectives are very nice of you. I appreciate that.
Speaking of which, if you want to be decked out in the finest threads there are, hey, check it out. We've got merch. So check our socials for links to our merchandising. We got mugs too, courtesy of Teespring, Tee Spring. I hope you can spell that right. Yeah, we've got a limited merch run, so head on over there, support your podcasts, help a brother out.
And a sister.
It's a lot of
Or a
fun.
sister.
And a sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Help your fam out. Show love for the podcast. And hey, if you get our merch, take a picture of it. Picture of yourself with our merch. And we'll blast it on the socials as a way of saying thank you. So thank you. Yes, you could check us out on social media. WSTR Media, all one word, all lowercase. You can email us at mailbox@wstrmedia.com. Leave us a voicemail at 630-557-WSTR. That's 630-557-9787. Catch our entire back catalog of episodes at www.wstrmedia.com. And now you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss a single live stream.
Not a single one.
Not a single one.
Yeah.
Get them all.
Get them all.
Catch them all.
Yeah, catch them all like Pokemon.
Yep. You can find us at youtube.com/WSTR Media. We'll also tweet out links to our live stream before we go live every week at Monday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's a mouthful. Wow.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. You
I think
did
we
great.
got all
You did
our-
great, man.
We've got all our legal, moral, ethical obligations out of the way. So now we could shamelessly plug for money. So today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're out there, you're cruising the galaxy,
Yep.
stopping for gas, and man, it's expensive.
Woo.
Life kind of sucks for you on the Outer Rim. You're just grinding away, got to pay your debts to the local hut gangster.
Yep.
And man, what are you going to do with yourself? Your life is so empty and shallow and meaningless. Well, hey,
Hey,
That
you can brighten it
escalated
up a little
quickly.
bit while you're working so hard.
you can listen to our
Head on over.
podcast. Yeah, you can listen to our podcast.
Listen to our
and then-
podcast. But hey, we're only 1 hour a week.
That's right.
So what are you going to do with the other, however many hours there are? How many hours are there in the week? 180?
I don't know. Math is not my subject.
That's a lot of math.
There's a lot. But hey, fill up the rest of that time with Audible.
Aaron, I was not prepared for that question.
Ton of books.
I wasn't prepared
They
for
got
that
a-
question.
They got a ton of audiobooks, more than you could shake a stick at. And hey, over 180,000. It's compatible with your iPhone, with your Android, with your Kindle, or your MP3 player.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing out there being so silly and uneducated and goofy? You could put a stop to that right now. Head on over to audible.com or audibletrial.com/WSTR. And hey, you get to get a free 30-day trial of the Audible service. You get to pick your own free audiobook that you can keep regardless if you continue with the service or not. Hey, if you want to cancel, no questions asked, all right? You know,
No
you
questions.
Just,
Why are you
No
leaving?
questions.
Don't leave.
Yeah.
you know, Han had to Han had to leave the bar after he toasted Greedo.
He just
Flip a coin to the
he flipped him
bartender.
a
Sorry
coin.
about the mess.
Yeah.
Hey, with you could be cooler than Han. You could just stroll right out of the bar. Dead carcass of your trial on the table. No questions asked.
No questions.
So, hey, head on over there. Spread some love for the podcast. And hey, everybody wins.
It's true.
There's a new book that just came out recently. Todd, you've been elbow deep into it.
Oh, they are
been-
literally my best friends in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon. Thrawn and Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. It's a juicy. I'm talking about Thrawn Alliances. It came
Yes.
out novel by Timothy Zahn, and actually last week it was number one on the number one on the New York Times bestsellers list. So it's hot. It's hot. So yeah.
Is it like the Highlander? There can only be one.
There can only be one. Thrawn Alliances. So yeah, I have been listening to that audiobook and it's a lot of fun. So I would highly recommend it. And I have a newfound respect for voice actors that do audiobooks because it is intense. They do all the voices and I'm like, what? I couldn't even keep it straight in my head. So
yeah, it's one dude doing all
One
the
dude.
voices, right?
one dude. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think that's the same guy who did the voices for Heir to the Empire.
I think it's Mark Thompson, if I'm not mistaken. But don't quote me on that.
Well, I'm
that
going
sounds
to.
Okay.
I have
well,
no idea who you're talking about.
Right, yeah.
Yes, it is Mark with a C Thompson.
There you go. Yeah.
Now I
he's
know.
like
So,
he's super impressive. I'm just like, dude, this guy, because like the other cool thing about what Zahn has done with Thrawn, it's hard to say that Zahn and Thrawn, but as we read the other book, he kind of gets into Thrawn's headspace, and he does the same thing with Anakin, like what he's actually thinking, and it's very cool to see the different dichotomies of the two characters. So, highly recommended. Go check it out. Get it for free, and your mind will be blown.
one last item of business. You may notice we sound a little bit differently. We've got new microphones. So
We
how about
professional.
that?
Just trying to bring the quality up to snuff,
Yeah. We do this for you, the listeners, the viewers, the passersby. So hey, go and
Vagabonds.
buy some merchandise already, will you?
There you go. All right, that's enough of the infomercial. There we go. Get all the legal stuff out of the way, man. So
That's right. That's right.
Think I laid it on a little thick?
no, it's good, dude. It's all good.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly. All right, should we move on to our main topic, Aaron?
Oh my
You
gosh.
should.
And now for our feature presentation.
What are we talking about today?
It is our 83rd episode. So, what better way to celebrate our 83rd episode but to talk about a certain movie that came out in 1983? And we're talking about Return of the Jedi. So, similar to what we did at episode 80 with Empire Strikes Back and 77 with A New Hope, we're going to, let's start off with some fun facts about 1983. Okay. Top five songs of 1983. Start with number 5, Beat It by Michael Jackson. There you go. Beat it. Right.
You blew my gag. I was going to bring out. I got a
Oh.
copy of Synchronicity by the Police,
Okay.
featuring Every Breath You Take,
Oh.
released in
Oh,
1983.
nice. Yeah.
I've also got Men at Work,
Oh,
Business as Usual,
yes.
also 1983 with their hit Down Under.
Yeah,
number 4.
exactly. Wow. So there you go. Yeah. Down on. Do you have Flashdance?
Is-
What a
is Billie
feeling.
Jean on Thriller?
Yes. Isn't
Okay,
it?
I've got that somewhere. I'm not sure. Where'd I put it?
Where'd you put it?
I don't know.
Oh, yep. That's
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
Michael.
1983.
1983. There you
Not
go.
a- Good year for music.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
So Billie Jean, and then Every Breath You Take, it was number 1 by the Police, which is awesome. All right, here's some you could be either depressed or, I don't know, enlightened by the cost of living in 1983. Average income was $21,700, or 70. No, 21,070. Yeah. Gas called you $1.25. You get a brand new Volkswagen Rabbit for $6,994. Or if you wanted to get, want to
used.
spice it up, do a Ford Mustang, that's $6,500. A Timex Sinclair color computer, a whopping $179.99. And then finally,
but that's Timex.
Yeah. And then finally,
I don't think you're going to be showing that off to your friends.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, a gallon of milk cost you $1.35. So you go to a gas station, pay $1.25, and a gallon of milk could cost you $1.35. So there you go. It's pretty crazy.
How much does a gallon of milk cost right now?
I don't know. I paid $3 a gallon when I filled up my gas tank.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Well, is this adjusted for inflation?
No, those are straight numbers, man. Those are straight numbers.
Oh, so those are $83.
Those are $83, right?
Okay, so that's like super dollars.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So moving on to stats about Return of the Jedi. Okay, so distributed by Fox, came out May 25th, 1983. A runtime of 2 hours and 14 minutes. Production budget was $32.5 million. It made $252 million. Lifetime gross is $309,306,177. And it killed in the box office opening weekend, 23 mil, and was number one ranked in over like 1,000 theaters. So it was cool. It was cool. Those are from boxofficemojo.com, those stats. So there you go. Okay. Fun facts about Return of the Jedi. Of course, it was not directed by George Lucas, but Richard Marquand and Lawrence Kasdan. You might recognize the name from Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi here, and obviously the new solo film, and he kind of helped out in Force Awakens. So Lawrence Kasdan is getting up there as one of those people that you kind of need to have a good Star Wars film, I guess. So screenplay obviously was by George Lucas as well, and the story was by George Lucas himself. So there you go. That's some movie stuff there. Okay, so you ready? You ready for some fun facts here?
Yes.
Let's get into it.
All right, here we go. All right. So Jabba's sail barge was filmed in Yuma, Arizona, okay? And they had an issue because there's like a bazillion dune buggy enthusiasts in the area, okay? So to preserve secrecy, the producers claimed to be making a horror film called Blue Harvest with the tagline, horror beyond imagination, and even had caps, t-shirts made for the whole crew. And they also did a chain link fence around and 24 security because they're building a huge set in the desert. So a little fun fact, this kind of little history, when we kind of got the gang together, we were going to Harvest Bible, and, because we're nerdy, we're like, well, we're going to call ourselves Blue Harvest.
Yep.
So, Armand.
That's what we got. Yeah, because we were all on the video crew for for Harvest's team. So
and Armand,
we were known as the Star Wars nerds.
Yes,
but
we labeled ourselves as like Blue Harvest because it was like like nerd deep, And then when we're thinking about doing the podcast, we're like, oh, we'll just do Blue Harvest, but it was already taken, so we had to come up with a more original name. But
other nerds.
Yeah, exactly. So Armand made us t-shirts and everything. So I was like, okay. But that every movie has like a kind of a production name, like Force Awakens was Space Bear, and Solo was called Red Cup for a while. So there's all these different names, but they literally did this so hard because they didn't want it to be anywhere near anyone knowing that it was like Star Wars. But I don't know if they were like, well, what's this huge ship? You know? Oh, it's a horror film. It's a horror
What are you
film.
doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, I guess they didn't want to go back to Tunisia, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because that was just unmitigated disaster.
Right. So they decided to just do, go to Arizona. No big deal. Okay, so I think a lot of people know this, but you might not. But, Jabba the Hutt is not real, people. He's a puppet, and it took like 6 people to operate him. No big deal.
No big deal.
Probably got all hot and sweaty in there.
Yeah,
Uncomfortable.
exactly.
Where the slime came from?
I don't know. Yeah, somebody like puking up something. So this came out in the 2004 DVD release, but George Lucas explained the reason why he had Yoda tell Darth Vader was his father. Lucas consulted a child psychologist during the making of the film. The psychologist said, unless it was unequivocally stated that Darth Vader was Luke's father, moviegoers aged 12 and under would dismiss Vader's claim to be Luke's father as a lie.
A lie, you say?
Yeah. I know. I thought he was lying.
I did
Been a
too.
good power move.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because it's like, we talked about that before when the big reveal happened in Empire. It's like, it's kind of true, but maybe not. So I don't believe it, and that was definitely a discussion on the playground, like what?
Well, from a certain point of view.
Don't get me started on ObiWan. Yes. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Speaking about ObiWan, Sir Alec Guinness filmed his cameo in just one day. That's it.
Just one day?
Just one day. Probably, I think he got a pretty hefty paycheck for it too. Just like, hey, just show up, do your scene, done.
Yeah, just show up, sit on this log, cash those residuals.
Lie to Luke one more time.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay, this is a fun one. Emperor's chair was mechanized, so it could rotate when the scene called for it. So, when Vader or any Imperial or Luke, when they walk up the stairs, it turns around and there you go. But it never worked properly. So Ian had to move it with it by shuffling his feet. Oh man, I love that one. He's like this ruthless empire, and he's just like trying to shuffle,
There's nothing less intimidating than
I know.
to actually move yourself.
Yeah, but I thought that was hilarious. It's like practical effects, people. Practical effects. No, nothing staged here. Okay, so Endor was also filmed in Crescent City, California. It was really hard on our little people, and so the assistant arrived to the set one day, Ian Bryce, with a note from the Ewok actor saying they had enough, and they're out their way to the airport. So the assistant director, the production assistant here, drove out to the airport, but he got a flat tire, had to find another car. And when he got there, the Ewoks bus pulled up, and all the Ewoks got off wearing Revenge of the Ewok t-shirts.
Nice.
So yeah, there was a little disgruntled worker there. They had a little strike, but I think they all worked it out. What did they like being in a bear suit for like 12 hours and you can't breathe and move and whatever? I mean, no big deal.
Right?
Yeah.
But hey, at least they didn't take good old Larry Kasdan and tie him up on a spit roast.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Prepare
That's
him
true.
for dinner.
Well, I should mention, because this really is a fun fact and pretty well known, but Return of the Jedi was called Revenge of the Jedi probably till about 2 weeks out before it was released. So
yeah,
there's posters. There's a famous poster that says Revenge of the Jedi. But George is like, oh wait, Jedi shouldn't have revenge, so changed it to Return of the Jedi like 2 weeks out, and all the marketing material already said Revenge of the Jedi. Obviously, he went back to that title for Revenge of the Sith in Episode 3. So there you have it.
Well, how many people did it have to get past the Revenge of the Jedi title before? And nobody, this is 2 weeks out, nobody said, hey, might want to reconsider this.
I don't know. Like,
Like,
they might have thought.
Did somebody say something, or did this like come to him in a dream, or
I think,
what happened here?
I think it came into him in a dream. Like, he's like, oh, I can't do it. We're good.
Alec Guinness shows up in his dream as a Force ghost on the log.
It's like, you don't want to call it Revenge of the Jedi. So, yeah, but it was already promoted. Those movie posters were all up saying Revenge of the Jedi. And then they just said, oh, wait. George is like, no. Return of the Jedi. So there you go.
So yeah, if you can get your hands on a Revenge of the Jedi poster, big bucks on eBay.
Big bucks, yeah. Okay, so we have there's of course a bunch of Easter eggs in Return of the Jedi. So first one, it comes from an unlikely source of Army of Darkness, and also a tribute to The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is an amazing sci-fi flick. But basically, in Army of Darkness, they say, in order to destroy the Book of the Dead, the hero must memorize and say these words: Kalatu, Barada, and Nikito. And this is a tribute
to Barada, Nikito.
Yes. And this is also something that is to be said to stop the robot from attacking in The Day the Earth Stood Still. And so Kaluta, Barata, Nikito are 3 aliens on Jabba's sail barge. So there you go. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Doesn't Sam Raimi he's a director for Army of Darkness. Doesn't he have some kind of relationship with Spielberg or Lucas? Okay, that's probably why then.
Yeah, I think they like each other. I'm sure they're all in cahoots, I'm
sure there's some sort of like group chat with all the sci-fi director people.
Yep. Just Sam Raimi blowing up George Lucas's Twitter DMs.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Hey,
I got a great idea for you.
I saw this in The Day Earth Stood Still, so you're going to say it in Army of Darkness, and then I'm going to take it back and put it in Return of the Jedi,
Basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Okay, so next up, this is fun. I thought this was fun. When the Emperor arrives, obviously under construction and the Death Star, and there's all those like lovely stormtroopers and biker scouts, and everyone's lined up. The first 2 rows are humans. The rest is just a painting, which is even more fun. But one of the stormtroopers has a smiley face on it.
No.
Yes. I tell you.
I've never seen
I have never seen that.
I tell you these things. Yes.
You have to go over the film cell with like a microscope to find it.
Probably. Yeah. We try. Okay. So this next one, try to keep it family friendly, but this is a fun oops. So in the Endor moon scene where Han and Leia are trying to open up the bunker, and there's C-3PO and R2-D2, and remember, R2-D2 gets like totally blown up, and everything comes out of R2, like everything, like every appendage.
Yep.
And so
guts everywhere.
So Han is
it was a sad day.
Yeah, Han is trying to hotwire the door. This is what happens. We talked about this before. It's like either you shoot it to close it or shoot it to open, and sometimes you have to hotwire to open or whatever. So he's doing that, but then Leia gets shot. Okay, so when Leia gets shot in the arm, he rushes to her side, but he doesn't grab her arm. He grabs her breast and then up to her arm. So just a slight oops. So
Whoops.
There you go. And that it's still in the film, which is funny.
Uh-oh. Not good.
Well,
yeah.
It is something Han would do.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
All right. And then finally, this one's for you, Heather.
I'm
this
so
is
ready.
great. Okay, you ready? Now,
yes.
It's right here. The song, the Ewok song at the end, the original Ewok song. Okay, the yub yub. It's a song sung in Swedish, and it actually means. You ready for this? It smells like cereal here. Cool, huh?
I have no complaints.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, it smells like cereal here. Cool, huh? So there you go. And then Ninub finally speaks to Lando, and he says something in Kenyan, actually. And what it means is 1,000 herds of elephants are standing on my foot.
Well, that's the cool thing about sound design is you could take a sound that means something in one context, but then completely remove it, transform it into something else, and it means something completely different.
Yeah.
For example, whenever you are watching a movie and it's raining outside and you hear the sound of rain, what you're probably hearing is the sound of bacon frying and sizzling on the pan.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a Foley trick, basically?
Yeah, because it sounds more like rain than actual rain does.
Well, rain.
Yeah. So they're lying to you.
Dude, I'm gaining knowledge every day, man.
Listen, WSTR, we are entertaining and we are educational.
Right. All right, so Heather, what do you like about Return of the Jedi?
Well, it's a known fact that I do love my Ewoks. They just hold a special place in my heart, and they're small and they're feisty, and I gotta love that.
Yeah.
And then from the non-5-year-old speaking, I do love the story where once again it seems a little chaotic until then there's like a definite plan. You know, Luke's doing his thing with Vader. You've got Leia and Han trying to bring down the... What's the word I'm looking for, guys? The shield thing.
The shield generator.
That's the official term, guys. Yeah. Paying attention.
The shield thing.
The shield thing. That, you know, you come out of Empire and they're all trying to put one over on Jabba. And it all seems like, what are you guys doing? I don't trust you to do anything. And then finally there's a plan and a nice closure.
Mm-hmm.
So from an over arc story, I just loved how that played out. Yeah, that's the big answer.
So Ewoks are number one, but you also like how it all kind of plays out.
Yeah, I think what I like about it is, you know, I've always been I don't really care about the people in the movie. It's droids and furry things for Heather.
Right.
But I think what I like about this movie, it's the first time that I cared about like Luke and Han and Leia and what was going to happen to them. I enjoy the Luke and Vader connection with one another, them attempting to connect, but it obviously doesn't go anywhere. So it's the first time I felt invested in the people. It only took 2 movies to get there, but I got there.
Okay. You got there. Cool.
Yeah.
Aaron, how about you? What do you like about Return of the Jedi?
So, probably the main thing that I like, not thematically or anything, but the end combat scene where we've got you kind of like the three corners of the triangle with the battle scenes. You've got the space battle, which is much larger and more complicated than anything we had ever seen at that point when it comes to Star Wars combat. And not only that, but then we have the the ground battle on Endor, where we've got Han and Leia and droids and friends duking it out with the stormtroopers, which kind of has this like heist feel, almost like Rogue One, or rather, I should say, Rogue One feels like the Endor battle. And then like the third part of that triangle, you've got the very intensely personal fight between Luke and Vader and the Emperor. And that in itself is its own kind of triangle. So it's threes and threes and threes all over the place. That's still one of the most exciting parts of the Star Wars franchise for me to watch, just because it feels so grand and like everything's coming together and has led up to this moment. And then we just see it play out in real time. And that's tremendously wonderful to watch. Other aspects about Return of the Jedi that I like. I do enjoy pretty much all of the main characters are taken. It's like fish out of water. They're taken out of their usual context, and we kind of see them in different circumstances that we otherwise normally wouldn't. For example, like Han is blinded and pretty much useless during the Jabba sail barge fight.
Right.
So, he's suddenly, you go from a super independent, cocksure guy to someone who's very dependent on everybody around him to keep him alive. And that's really, really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
We've also got Princess Leia, where, she's got to save the boys. So she dresses up as the bounty hunter and tries to break everybody out.
Yeah.
Doesn't go as planned, but she still breaks herself free and kills Jabba, which is awesome. And then we got Luke, where he's totally outnumbered in Jabba's palace. Then has to fight it out one-on-one with the Rancor without a lightsaber. So it's these kind of like fish out of water moments that really make these characters that we've gotten to know and love really interesting, because they're all disempowered in ways in which they are most strong. So that's what I really like about the film.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, if you're into ring theory, episode 1 and Return of the Jedi are the same. They're mirrors.
What?
So, yeah. So if you think about it, like, especially at the end, like in episode 1, you have a ground battle, an air battle, and then a spiritual battle with the Jedi, with Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan. And in Return of the Jedi, you have the same thing. You have a space battle, a ground battle, and a spiritual battle or Jedi battle between Darth Vader, Emperor, and Luke Skywalker. So threes, and then Qui-Gon Jinn funeral and Darth Vader funeral kind of same thing. And then you get a happy song at the end, both in episode 1 and Return of the Jedi. So there you go. If you're a ring theory. So yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Very interesting. I'm kind of going to echo you a little bit there, Aaron, and just I really like the Emperor throne room. Anything with the Emperor in this movie is fantastic. So I just love that internal struggle. And like you said, it just seems big, and it's also very personal, because the Emperor at this point is like, everything's fallen into play, and his confidence is like all right there. And he doesn't see Luke. He wants Luke, but he doesn't see Luke as any kind of threat. And I just love how that kind of turns at him at the worst time. And Vader actually, Vader steps up and does it he does a very heroic thing at the end, as we talked about in our Imperial inspection of Anakin Skywalker. So I just love anything with the Emperor is probably my favorite part. And I know that space battle with all those TIE interceptors, there's that one shot where they all come into frame, and I'm just like, this is amazing. This is so cool.
Yeah.
All
in formation. Yep.
Yeah. I just love that. So that's probably
it's where we finally get the redemption for Vader that we've wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. But here's another fun fact. Like, Anakin at this time is probably 46. And, David Prowse, literally, here's the other thing that they snow job David Prowse. He didn't even know that they're filming it with a different actor, the reveal. He always thought he was going to do the reveal, and they went in and got Sebastian Shaw, which is Sir Alec Guinness's friend. He was kind of down and out, and probably came in the day of the set. Hey, I got this guy that can help you out. And George went with him, and they filmed the scene without even David Prowse knowing. I'm just like, oh, so bad. It's so bad.
They sent him on a very long coffee run.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, go get some Starbucks,
Yeah.
But if you really want to watch, there's a great documentary on Netflix called like Vader Unmasked or something. It's fantastic. It is really good. It's all about David Prowse, so I would highly recommend that. But yeah, I was just I understand again, like with the Blu-ray where they change Anakin back to Hayden, I get it, but like they still didn't get his age right. He should be about 46-ish.
Yeah.
But the other thing, he's been in the suit for 20 years, so he could age a little bit. Just a little bit. So what are some?
Well, all's well that ends well.
That's a pretty package for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Heather.
Yes.
What don't you like about the film?
Yoda.
What?
He doesn't.
Come on now.
It.
Oh. Okay.
You thought he should have lived?
Yes, he should live forever and ever.
In your heart, Heather. In your heart.
In my heart, yeah. No, it was just sad. I mean, again, the first time I saw this film, I was young, and he died, and it was not okay with me. They did not get my permission. But no, so the 5-year-old answer is Yoda dying.
Yeah.
I think other parts of the film that I'm not terribly happy with. It's interesting. I think I said this about the prequels as well. By the time that you get to the third film, I don't always get to the third film. And I think Empire has so much good meat in it. You want to see how it ends, so you go through the third film. But while I like the overarching story, there was points where I was like, yep.
Let's move it along.
Let's move it along. Yeah.
Come on.
Let's get on to the next part here. And I felt like it was, ha! And then this like, do, wah! And then do, and it didn't move well for me.
Wow.
So I feel like it's got pockets that I really love.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It kind of goes like
Sorry.
this.
It's not distributed very well.
Yeah, it's like this up and down wavy thing, and I just I don't know.
Long sigh.
I don't dislike it. It's clearly not my favorite film. It's not my least favorite film. But yeah, R2 gets shredded. There's just a lot that I'm not happy with.
Right. Yeah.
But it finishes up storylines. I think when we talked about Anakin, I was very disappointed with the Vader reveal. He didn't seem as scary anymore.
Right. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yep.
So that's what I know. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. That's okay. What about you,
What are you
Aaron?
sorry for?
Yeah, don't be sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't be sorry.
Sorry, Star Wars fandom. No, kidding. No, it's good. That's what
We're all friends here.
That's right.
All right. Well, this friend is going to go get her plug for her computer so she doesn't lose you guys.
Oh,
Okay.
Live podcasting, everybody.
Right. Forgot
Yeah,
to plug that in.
professionals.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Aaron, what don't you like about the Return of the Jedi?
Well, since you asked so nicely,
Yeah.
the beginning, the whole scene with breaking Han out of Jabba's palace.
We have an episode about that, Aaron. Episode
We do.
63, Luke's plan, which makes absolutely no sense. We took an hour and a half trying to figure that bad boy out, and still can't figure it out.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So there's that, the whole what was Luke thinking, which I understand. They left Han's return a mystery, and they had to find some way to bring him back in a way that was meaningful and not like, oh, hi, I just showed up again. So for that, I get it, but it kind of feels like the movie is like two halves of almost like a TV series, where you've got the first half where they're busting Han out of Jabba's palace, and that's fine, but I feel it just moves a bit too slowly for my liking. Kind of just plods along for a good bit. But then there are some really good, exciting sections too, like the Rancor fight, and then the whole Jabba's sail barge fight. So, but yeah, it just, what was Luke thinking? What was that whole thing? Why?
That plan is out the door, bonkers, man. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So there's that. And then it's really intangible, but I feel like with Empire Strikes Back, it was a much more cohesive story, where everybody's in danger and is tested, and we learn more about them and the development of their character, and it feels like when you meet someone new and you've been hanging out with them pretty regularly for a few months, and then you learn something deeper and deeper about them. It's kind of like that, but with Return of the Jedi, it feels like the kind of friend where you meet up with each other after, like, it's been a while, maybe a few years, and nothing's changed with them. And you're like, okay, we're here now. All right. Everything's just as it was. So I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean
about that. Yeah. It just feels like we don't really learn too much more about Han or Leia or Luke, except we do learn that Luke and Leia are related.
Confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, Darth Vader has his big moment, so that's a big plus. But yeah, for most of the cast, it's like, all right, let's finish this up. We can do it.
Yeah.
And I guess Revenge of the Sith kind of falls to the same trap, which is really difficult to avoid. So I don't know, but that's where I stand with that.
I don't agree with you on that one.
No,
I mean, because like I think because it's a breaking point for Anakin and ObiWan, that and Padme. I think though. I mean,
that's true.
It's a different kind of character development.
Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon, because at least Revenge of the Sith has that whole tragedy aspect to it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's going the wrong way for the characters in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. I'll take back what I said about that. Okay,
I don't. I'm not going to poo-poo on all your theories, but but yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you. I think the return, like the Jabba's sail barge thing, is like its own little mini movie. And it doesn't really relate to the whole other film, you know? Mm-hmm. And like we said before, that Luke's plan is just, it's wonky. And Boba Fett dies. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Han Solo is like in love, and he's not. He's kind of a softie, which in some respects is okay, but in this film, it just like he's kind of goofy, you know. I feel, and yeah, I mean, I'm turning the fence on the Ewoks, but really that pain is still there. It's just as far as like they just took down the whole empire, you know, like a legion of my best stormtroopers and Imperials are on Endor, and they get snuffed by Ewoks. It still doesn't sit with me, so.
They are small and mighty.
I know. Yeah, but you don't think a couple chicken walkers can take out those fur balls? I'm sorry, they would. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like it is a little slow, but it's kind of like, again, like Phantom Menace. It's like so slow, and then at the end, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool because three different battles going on, and all kind of works out. And the same thing with Return of the Jedi. It's kind of slow, but that all three parts are done so well with the ground battle, the space battle, and the fight. It is that it saves it. It saves the whole movie.
It does. Yeah.
It
kind of feels like you're like swimming in shallow water by the beach.
Yeah.
And you're looking for like this sandbar to stand on, and then like you're going along. You're like, okay, where's this going? And then you suddenly feel it with your foot, and you're like, oh, okay, solid ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can get up and start running.
Right. Exactly. That fight, the fight at the end is just, it saves it, and so that's where I feel like it's definitely not one of my favorite movies, but you just get a good feeling when it ends. It's like, oh, this is great. They're all happy. They're dancing. You got that great shot, the hero shot of all the heroes sitting around Ewok Village, and they're just like, yeah, it's pretty cool. You get the happy feels.
Yeah, it closes the trilogy really well.
Yeah,
but it takes too much time.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, I know we shouldn't be talking about Episode 9 because it's like 499 days away. No big deal.
Todd's not counting.
I'm not counting. I just like, I don't know. It's gonna be so hard to see like how they're gonna end. Will they end it with like that kind of cool hero shot, or just to kind of speculate, like you're gonna have a warm fuzzy ending, or is it gonna be something where it pushes it to the next level? So yeah, but it's a there's some really cool, a lot of cool special effects and practical effects. We haven't mentioned the speeder bike chase scene, which is pretty amazing. Again, if you're into ring theory, that's very much like the pod racing. It's like a cool little segment in that slow part. We're like, this is amazing, so really, really enjoy that. So
awesome.
Right on.
Okay. Any final thoughts about Return of the Jedi?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
At least not on my part. I don't know.
I will say this. Totally bogus that the Ewoks won. I'm with you on this, Todd. So
yeah.
Also totally bogus how Boba Fett died. So.
He's not dead. Not dead.
Or is he?
I don't know. Maybe. Actually, that's, you know what? I think that's a great segue into news of the week, my friend.
Oh, how about that?
And now, the Star Wars news of the week.
All right.
Like we planned that. Or
yeah,
something.
right. Exactly. Okay, here we go. Jeremy Bulloch, the actor who originally played Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, is hanging up the jetpack.
What?
Yes.
Say it ain't so.
This just came out this last week, and he says, and I quote, "It is with a heavy heart that I've decided to stop attending conventions and hang up the Fett helmet," the actor shared in an official statement. "It has not been an easy decision to make. In 1979, I was called onto the set of Empire Strikes Back to play Boba Fett, and since that day, it has changed the entire direction of my life in such a wonderful way. It's been a privilege to have had the opportunity to inspire so many generations of Star Wars fans. I have had over 20 years of traveling with my wife, Marie, to some amazing countries and have met many wonderful fans. Thank you so much for all, so much, and we miss you all. May the Force be with you always."
Oh.
Yep.
Whew.
I know. It's
a
sad.
hard blow.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. Yeah, this kind of goes where I cynical part, like Aaron's, going to those conventions and not like waiting in line for like getting autographed by these movie, stars. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. And now when you see someone like, dang it, I should have spent the, whatever, $100 or $50 or whatever it is, to get an autograph. It's, but yeah, it's sad. It's sad. I'm still I saw Carrie Fisher at Celebration 2, and I was like, oh, because that was the first time she showed up in a long time, and I was like, I saw her, and I took a picture of her, but I didn't spend the money, and I was like, oh, I should have just done that. But
Bummer.
You never know, woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But I mean, again, I get it because you're traveling around, traveling gets hard. It's like he's getting up there in the old, years, and
he's 73.
Yeah, I get it. But
you try catching infectious diseases at conventions on a regular basis at 73.
I don't know. Stan Lee's still out there.
Well,
barely
though. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And his manager might be taking advantage of him.
Oh boy, yeah.
But that's for another podcast.
that's Stan Lee. Okay.
Oh man.
Heather, why don't you?
Yeah.
What's going on in the news? What else is going on?
Oh my gosh! So everybody know the Teen Choice Awards?
Yes.
The hipper, cooler version of the Oscars and the
Right.
Grammys and the Emmys. They're all just smashed into one.
Right.
But the question is, could The Last Jedi win a Teen Choice Award?
Yeah.
The blockbuster could be getting its revenge by winning Choice Fantasy Movie. And it's apparently a front runner to win, according to Gold Derby's users, who gives it a lead odds of 2 to 3, 2 out of 3, 2 to 3, something like that.
Yeah. 2/3.
2/3. Of course, math's not our strong suit, as we learned earlier. It has, it has 9 nominations overall, including 3 bids for Choice Fantasy Movie Actor.
Oh.
3 of them. I know. We're kind of dominating the category between John Boyega, Mark Hamill, and Mr. Oscar Isaac. And 2 Choice Fantasy Movie actresses are beloved Carrie Fisher and Daisy Ridley. And then Choice Breakout Movie Star for
Kelly Marie
for
Tran.
Rose, for Kelly Marie Tran, who, after suffering great abuse online, what a great support option for that to her. So, it didn't do so well in some of the social medias, but those teens must have been okay with it.
The youths will rise.
The youths.
Yeah.
The youths.
Hey, you keep putting attractive people in movies.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be great. I think that would show, again, the bitter fanboys don't like it, but if that younger generation likes it, then that speaks volumes. And it goes back to what we kind of talked about earlier, those anchors. What's that anchor? And if those, and again, if they're supporting Kelly Marie Tran, I think that's fantastic. I mean, that would be great if she would win that. So yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know when that actually comes out, but should be interesting to see.
Yeah. And you win a surfboard. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that is totally cool.
Those are what the awards are. They're giant surfboards.
I'm in.
So.
Yeah. All right, Aaron, you want to round us out?
Sure thing. So, word on the street is Disney's working on its own streaming service.
Interesting.
Never.
They want to compete with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, some other fourth thing.
And, yeah, exactly.
They're running into a little snag here because Turner Broadcasting owns the distribution rights, or excuse me, the TV rights to Star Wars episodes 1 through 6. And
what?
They're not giving them back. Not until 2024.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've known for some time now that Disney's no longer content to let Netflix stream its own movies.
Yep.
Launching their own service. There's going to be a big hole in what they can offer. So, Turner, they own TBS and TNT. They have the exclusive rights to air the 3 main trilogies and standalone entries on the small screen and online for another 6 years. So that makes it sound like that's all the Star Wars movies.
Everything.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh, so not just 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird though, because I want to say The Last Jedi and Rogue One have been on Netflix.
Yes, because I think that is Disney owned. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it could be the 6. Yeah.
Yeah, so might want to fact check that.
Yeah.
So Turner said they would want financial considerations and programming to replace the lost films before they give it up. And according to Bloomberg, the talks have not advanced further.
It's not. They just did it in 2016, so they're not gonna.
Yeah, the deal has been altered. Pray that Disney does not alter it further.
Right.
Yeah.
Well played.
Turner paid $275 million for the rights, so
yeah,
that's going to be hard to give up. That was in 2016 before Disney's like, hey, we should stream too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the catch. So with the Clone Wars coming back, that's going to be on this new streaming service, and that's next year. So what are they going to do when they've got the Clone Wars and nothing else? As
Just
far
watch
as
the
Star
Clone
Wars
Wars.
goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, they still have to run out Netflix too. So I don't know like what the deal is with Netflix as well. So are you going to get both, or you have to wait till Netflix, like you said, because like Rogue One, Last Jedi, Force Awakens are on Netflix. So do you have to wait till that kind of clears and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know, man.
Should be interesting. Yeah, it's just gonna be Clone Wars like on repeat,
Yeah, that'll be our Star Wars fix until 2024.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, that's about it for the news then.
News of the week. All right. Let's move on to Cantina Chat. All right, Heather, what is going on with you?
So, for those who've been listening for a little while, in like however many episodes before, I had mentioned that I had borrowed a book from Todd Hoffman called Leia. Guess who finally finished it?
You read? You rode? You read it?
It's only been like 1,000 months. Oh, man. So, I got that finished this week. So that's super exciting.
Did you like it?
I did enjoy it, very much so.
Yeah. You made a cool book cover for it, too.
I did. So I borrowed it, and I got terrified I was going to ruin it. So I went old school with the brown paper bag, like you did in the old school days.
I know. I haven't seen that in a long time, and it's very nice.
So
I might just keep it in that for a little bit,
Hey, whatever you need to do, man.
Yeah.
Well done.
And then I purchased a new crochet pattern to make one of my little amigurumi guys, which Todd still just doesn't believe me that that's a word.
I'm going to say Yamaguchi or whatever, or Amagachi, or I don't know. You're going to have to say it literally every time.
Every time.
Like, doesn't
every
sink.
time.
It doesn't sink.
So
Todd, you should apply to a Michelin restaurant. And you know what your signature dish is going to be?
What is it going to be, man?
Word salad.
Word salad. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I like it. So I will make everyone's beloved favorite character, Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Amazing.
So that was my big week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Aaron, how about you?
Well, I finished season 1
Oh,
of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
unbelievable.
Yeah. I got like 5 more to go. So it's going to be a while.
6. 6. You
Yeah.
got 6 actually to go, but that's okay. That's okay.
Got the lost episodes.
Well, no, 5 to go. Right. You got that's right. Math again, not my subject. There's 5 official seasons and then the 6th, which is the lost mission. So yes, you have 5 to go.
Yeah, so I'll keep you updated, but that's where I'm at.
What were your general impressions about season 1?
Starts off kind of a little goofy and kid-ish, especially like the battle droids, but
Yeah.
it starts to ramp up to, pretty good drama, pretty good conflict. So, still not really warming up to Ahsoka, but I'll give her time.
Yeah, I know. She's one that takes a while to grow, and that was like the initial complaints about her. It's just it's a slow growth, but it'll get there. It'll get there.
Right.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
What about you, Todd?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going through Thrawn, so listening to Thrawn, that's pretty much it. And can I spill the beans now? Maybe. Kind of.
Spill them all over the floor as long as you
All
clean
right.
up afterwards.
Well, we did get together just yesterday, and to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Clone Wars, we watched the Clone Wars, which Aaron's never seen. I've only seen it once. Heather only seen it once, so it was a good time to kind of go through that. So that was pretty nerdy. That was pretty good. That was pretty Star Warsy. Fun was had. So yeah, that's a collective.
Collective nerd.
It was a hoot.
It was a hoot. Exactly.
Fun.
Heather, you want to wrap this baby up?
I will put a bow on it, guys.
All right.
Well, friends, thanks again for listening to another episode of WSTR, a Galactic Public Access. Check us out on social media, WSTR Media, all lowercase, all one word. Please, we want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, rate us on iTunes. You can email us at mailbox@wstrmedia.com. You can leave us a voicemail message at 630-557-WSTR, 630-557-9787. Leave us a voicemail message. Email us your thoughts on The Last Jedi. What?
The Last Jedi, just
that movie?
right. Or
Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
They're
it is
very
confusing.
different movies, guys.
The Last Return of the Jedi.
The last
There we go.
return
No.
of the
The Last
Revenging-
Return of the Jedi.
Revenge of the
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
And then, hey, if you've enjoyed this podcast and you want to check out our whole back catalog, visit our website, www.wstrmedia.com. And if you haven't already noticed, we've got merch. So check out what we've got at Teespring, TEE spring like the season. We'll have all of the links up on our social medias. That's why you need to check us out on the social media. I pointed my finger for the people who are not watching the live stream.
She's finger wagging.
Yeah,
I'm finger wagging, guys. That mama voice, it's going to come out soon.
Right, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So, well, before
Like you're
this
talking
thing-
to your kittens, just like
That's right. So, well, before I get any crazier than I already am, you know all the ways to get a hold of us. You're going to want to check us out next week, episode 84. We will be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Clone Wars.
Like it's already happened. It's already
like
happened.
it happened. Like we
Yeah.
know what you're in for.
Yeah,
and you're gonna love it. So check it out. You're gonna love it. Social media, WSTR media, all lowercase, all one word. I'm just gonna keep saying it till you start to follow us, guys. So there we go.
Right.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, are we ready? You guys ready? Should we do this?
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now this
is podcasting.
Da, 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 da.